The following is a demonstration of a qualification interview with a prospect and is intended to show you all the steps of the interview process. The objective of the qualification interview is to establish a solid foundation for a business relationship. The meeting logistics will vary by location. In this case, it's in a restaurant. Begin with a friendly introduction. Be sure to provide the prospect with your Sun Life financial business
Nice
card.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Here's my card.
Thank you.
So Dan speaks very highly of you. How long have you two known each other?
2 or 3 years. We've been at work.
Oh, do you work directly with Dan?
No, he's in another department.
Well, John, as I mentioned, I don't want to take too much of your time here, so perhaps I should start by asking, what's your idea of why we got together today?
Well, you said that you could show me some ways to save taxes and have more money for retirement.
Well, how important is reducing taxes and saving more money for retirement?
Well, every dollar counts.
No kidding. Well, let me note that one. We'll definitely talk about that later. Now, as I mentioned, this will only take 15 to 20 minutes. You won't be asked to buy anything, and I won't call back unless you see benefit in my doing so. Fair enough?
Sure, it's good.
John, I've found the best way for us to get acquainted is through the use of this brief questionnaire. Now, the nature of the questions will give you an idea of the kind of work I do, and your answers will give me an idea of what you've already accomplished, so we don't reinvent the wheel. Make sense?
Makes sense.
I should stress that anything we discuss is confidential. The questionnaire is just a guide, and if you wish, you can keep it when we're done.
Okay.
Now, John, as you complete this, one of two things might happen. You'll find that you're all set and there are no gaps in your program, or you might find that you're not at all set and there might be some areas that may need some attention. Either way, I think you'll find it thought-provoking.
Okay.
We'll review it when you're done, and you can decide if there's anything that needs a closer look.
Sure.
Now, the questionnaire itself, it only takes 8 to 10 minutes to complete. Just tick off the most appropriate answer for each. No need to dwell on any one question. The first answer that comes to mind is often the best. Now, I've taken the liberty of filling in personal information from what I had on hand. You can fill in the rest as you go. So, John, I'll let you get started. Can I get you anything?
Black coffee would be great.
Great. I'll be right back.
At this point, be prepared to keep yourself occupied in a business manner, taking care not to make the prospect uncomfortable or self-conscious. Some advisors use the opportunity to catch up on business reading or to complete paperwork. Note that sitting sideways in your chair across from the prospect may be less intimidating. The closing process has 4 steps. 1. Review and clarify. 2. Summarize. 3. Prioritize. 4. Take appropriate action. Let's watch as our advisor applies these 4 steps.
Here you go.
So, how did it go?
Well, it was interesting. It certainly made me think.
Let's see how you did. So, how long have you been a manager at Digital?
Let's see. 3 years next month.
Huh? You enjoying the work?
Yeah, it's been good so far.
If I may, I'm just going to take a moment to review your answers here. You indicated you like to discuss ways to save for your children's post-secondary education. What have you been able to do so far in the way of savings?
Well, let's see. We've put my bonus money from work into an account in the children's names, but nothing much beyond that.
And how important is it that children can afford university?
Very. Both my wife and I went to university, and we feel that it's very important that they have the same opportunities we had.
So education is important.
Sure is.
So how old are your children?
Melissa is 10 and Jack is 6.
I bet they keep you busy. I'm just going to take some notes here if you don't mind, just so I don't miss anything.
Sure, that's fine.
You also mentioned ways to defer taxes on your investments. How are you currently saving for retirement?
I have a pension plan, and we contribute to RRSPs.
Have you been able to put your maximum into your RSPs?
You know, we'd like to, but with the house and all, it's not been possible.
You're not alone there, John. It's a challenge for most people. Are you familiar with the details of your pension plan at work?
Well, Like many pension plans, it's very confusing at times. I know a little bit about it.
Do you have any documentation or information about the plan?
Yeah, I have a booklet at home.
Oh, good. We can review that one later if you'd like. Now, lastly, you indicated you'd like to discuss ways of providing an income in the event of critical illness. What was your concern there?
Well, a friend of mine got cancer last year. It's been devastating to his family. They've had to downsize, sell the house, and now they live in an apartment.
And how's he doing?
Well, he's better. He's in remission, but he's still too weak to work.
John, have you had a chance to look into what's available in the way of coverage?
No. Is it expensive?
Well, not compared to the cost of having to deal with it. Tell you what, let me get you some information on that. So, let me just summarize what I've heard you tell me so far. You've indicated that education for Melissa and Jack was very important, that you've been able to save some money for them, but want to ensure that they can afford to go to university for sure.
That's right.
Now, you also indicated that you wanted to look at tax deferment on your investments. You have a pension at work, you contribute to RSP via payroll deduction, but haven't been able to maximize your contribution at this point. Did I get it right?
So far, so good.
Now, lastly, you mentioned that you'd like to look at critical illness and the cost of coverage. You've had first-hand experience with what your friend has had to deal with and would like to see what options you have to avoid something like that happening to you and, of course, to your family. Now, have we covered everything, or is there anything we might have missed?
No, I think you've got it all.
Oh, very good. Now, perhaps we could look at priorities then. Of the things we've mentioned, is there any one thing that's more important than the other, or should we take a look at the whole picture?
No. I think after filling out the questionnaire, I'd like to address it all.
Okay. So, when would you like to get together to take a closer look at that? Does it work better for you to come to my office downtown, or would you prefer I drop by your home?
Actually, with the children, I think our home would be better, if you don't mind.
No problem. Let's see, I have some time later this week, or would next week be better for you?
Work's crazy right now. Next week would definitely be better.
Okay. Let's see, I have some time Monday and Wednesday. Which would you prefer?
We're crazy busy on Monday nights, so it would have to be Wednesday.
Great. Now, to do this, I need about an hour and a half for sure. Would 7 be good for you?
7 would be fine. Gives us time to get the kids taken care of.
Great. So I'll set aside 7 o'clock next Wednesday evening. Should take us 7 to 8:30. Now, you mentioned you had a pension book. If you could gather that or any documentation you have for RSPs, life insurance, anything like that would be good too.
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is summarize that for you. So, if I got it right, we'll see you next Wednesday from 7 to 8:30.
Great.
Really appreciate your time, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Remember, ask open-ended questions. It's vitally important that you ask open-ended questions to encourage the prospect to talk. Take notes. It's extremely important to take notes. This shows you're paying attention to the prospect. These are the notes you'll use to summarize back to the prospect what you heard them say. Establish a relationship. Relax. Remember, the purpose of this interview is to establish a relationship, not to sell. This is not a fact find. There's no need for hard data or information. Keep the close concise. Stay on track. Continue to respect the time allotted. Be done, be gone.